Come on, Ignactor reveal. Come on, Ignactor reveal. Come on. What? What the fuck? Hey, what's up guys? T-dawg here. Today, I'm not behind the counter. I'm just kinda chilling outside the gas station. We're talking about the newest apex monster that's been revealed recently. Jin Dahaad. Now, where to even begin with this hunk of metal and rage? Well, I'm assuming it's angry. I mean, I don't imagine it's happy being whatever it is. By now, you know the drill. We're gonna split this video up into a few parts. We have Jin Dahaad's supposed abilities, his potential relationship with Hirabami, and lastly, and most importantly, what the actual is it? Let's begin or whatever. Want to have a drink? Now, before we dig into speculation, and quite frankly, sleep-deprived theories I have, let's air out what is shown in the final trailer. So, I don't want to be controversial, but I think Jin Dahaad has some sort of ice ability. Wait, don't click off the video yet. I promise I won't say anything else crazy. For now, at least. It can freeze hunters, possesses frost breath, it can seemingly gather ice on his claw hand thing for a punch. Pretty standard for an ice monster, I'd say. However, this is where Jin Dahaad and a creature like Glacial Ignactor differs. You see, Jin seemingly doesn't have just ice-cold powers. It also seems to have heat powers, at least to some extent. We can see here, Jin Dahaad becoming a really big space heater for a few seconds, before exploding the area in either steam or frost. We can also see multiple instances of surfaces turning into ice whenever Jin's claw paw thing touches them. What could this mean? This creature has heat, ice, and also maybe steam? What is this, Frontier? Well, stick around to the end and we'll go down that rabbit hole. We can safely say that Jin Dahaad is a Leviathan class monster, being absolutely massive. We see, during the first ever reveal, a group of Hirabami swarming around it. Since then, we haven't really seen Hirabami in any of the trailers to any extent, but knowing that Jin is the Ice Shard Cliff's apex, I like to think that maybe the two species work together. Now, we see pieces of buildings and ruins floating in the air for whatever reason. I have some theories about why, but that'll be for the end. For now, we also see Hirabami floating. Clearly, there's no wings or jets when it comes to Balustrax. So, why? I feel like since Radau charges its wings with its environment, Jin, and in addition Hirabami, could possibly do the same. Unless shown otherwise, that's gonna be my headcanon as to why these Leviathans fly, despite probably not being able to. I mean, they're small and probably have light bones and bodies, but still. Let me know what you think. Maybe I missed something. The closest example I can think of would be Val Hazak. Gyros thrive in the rotten vales effluvium, which Val uses to enhance his own abilities and also regulate the local food chain. So maybe Jin Dahaad provides something similar to the Hirabami, and maybe even the local endemic life you haven't seen before. Again, just food for thought. That brings us to the main protein of this theory sandwich. To start this section off, let's go over the facts that we actually know. Jin Dahaad is a Leviathan class monster. Sure, it's not like Capcom has come out yet with the entirety of its information, but it definitely fits the skeleton of the textbook Leviathan. It's also big, bro. Like, massive. Even its official description on the Capcom website is, how can a monster be so big? With that, I think it's fair to say it's probably the biggest out of the Apex monsters. And besides its mentioned abilities, that's really it. Besides, it can climb walls and can bury into the ice, which again is not like an exclusive thing, you know? So naturally, that leads to a very obvious question. Why is it like this? I think it looks like it was attacked by a metallic porcupine, bro. Bro looks like the Leviathan from the MCU. Wait, actually, now that I'm looking at it, now that I'm looking at the two of them together, they look kinda familiar. They seem like they could be related almost. Interesting. Let's take a gander at the wiki for this. Let's see. Leviathans are cybernetically augmented creatures used for combat and troop transport by the Chitauri armies under Thanos' command. Well, if there was ever a reason to pivot to the speculation, that'd probably be it. Okay everyone, grab your popcorn. It's time for the main topic, the main event. Everything previously was the groundwork for this. In the past, I theorized that the Apex monsters were augmented in some way or another, and Jin finalized that for me. Whether it be genetic modifying or selective breeding, or who knows, alchemy, Jin Dahaad is most likely not 100% natural. I mean, the armor is literally covering its eyes. It's almost like those cases where people have bone cancer and suffer growths, but way worse, because truthfully, some of these protrusions look sort of natural, but others just look too exaggerated, you know? And that's not even factoring in that it looks like metal, or metal-like material. The only monster that I can think of that somewhat relates to this is the Kushala line, which is interesting because we know that Kushalas were used to some extent by the ancient civilization for building. While the full extent is not truly known, as some of the lore is non-canon, Capcom has been tapping into that well of knowledge for a while. Again, I'll state that not everything is canon to the modern series. I had to say that because last time I had people in the comments somehow miss that part. I don't know how. So with that being said, I did some digging into the name Jin Dahaad. Check this out. I looked into the potential meanings of the name in multiple languages. The kanji for Jin could mean anything from gold to metal itself. It could also translate to benevolence in some contexts as well as jewel in Korean. Then I directly translated it from Japanese to English and got person breakthrough level, which we see Jin Dahaad do as well. Using that knowledge, I figured golden roar, or golden jewel, or maybe even metal roar to be the potential meanings. Hey, editor T-dawg, just wanted to let you know I could only find Dahaad as roar. If you can find anything else, let me know. But I'm not an expert in kanji at all. I know this part is kind of long, but I did do a lot of research for this, so please bear with me. One thing I got a comment or two about was a Reddit theory by user ChakalMP4. I won't read the entire thing, but you should 100% check it out. But to summarize it, OP believes Jin Dahaad is a reverse heatsink due to it having an extremely cold body and then having to exhaust this cold air by moving. That could be by attacking or by letting the heat fill the absence of the cold air itself. Truthfully, I don't know how realistic that is, but I also have to remember that Monster Hunter is not real life. I did some digging into heatsinks, and I think OP is close, if not correct. One thing I dug up is something called a plate heat exchanger. Listen to this. Plate heat exchanger contains an amount of thin-shaped heat transfer plates bundled together. The gasket arrangement of each pair of plates provide two separate channel systems. Each pair of plates form a channel where the fluid can flow through. The pairs are attached by welding and bolting methods. So yeah, I won't pretend I'm an expert on HVAC or any kind of similar field, so this is the best I can do. Bro, if you know, please educate me.
I need help on this, man. I just don't know, man.
And it took me like 3 tries to say all that without stuttering. But yeah, that's really it. Jin Dahaad is some sort of metal monster that might control multiple elements. I've never played Frontier, but it reminds me of the monster Erizarion, an elder dragon that switches between ice and fire, Elatrion style. But there was one thing that scratched the back of my mind. Why? That led me to searching through mythology, and that led me to automatrons and talos, being both metal beings. Automatrons specifically can either be man, monster, or animal, forged by men, and are pretty much animated statues. Talos is a man made of bronze who protected Crete from pirates and invaders. I like the Talos angle because it would allude to Jin Dahaad being some sort of protector, maybe for the final boss. Who knows? Alright gamers, I've gone on long enough. All my research is in the document in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. You're all goats. The next video before WoW's released will be addressing the leaks and the data mines. It's become too much of a problem in the general community and in my comments as well. Expect that in the next few couple of days. But yeah, that's really it. I will see you soon. I'm going to try to stream sometime maybe Sunday. And yeah, have a good one.